Hello, and welcome to Intelligent Pod, the place where curiosity meets insight. I'm your host, Sophie Lane, and I'm thrilled to have you with me today. Whether you're commuting, taking a walk, or just relaxing at home, thank you for choosing to spend this time together. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both ancient and incredibly modern: cultural evolution, how memes and ideas shape societies. We're going to unpack how ideas, yes, including those viral internet memes, move through our world, evolve, and ultimately sculpt the societies we live in. We'll explore what cultural evolution means, why it matters, and how you can become more intentional about the ideas you spread or adopt. Let's get started. So when you hear the word meme, what comes to mind? Maybe it's a funny cat photo with a snarky caption, or that viral dance craze sweeping TikTok. But memes are so much more than that. The term meme was actually coined way back in 1976 by evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins in his book, The Selfish Gene. Dawkins used meme to describe any unit of culture that spreads from person to person, like a catchy tune, a popular phrase, or even a fashion trend. In a sense, memes are the cultural equivalent of genes. They replicate, mutate, and evolve as they pass through the minds of individuals, shaping our collective story. Now, let's set the stage with a bit of context. Cultural evolution is the process by which cultures change over time, driven by the transmission of ideas, behaviors, and customs. Unlike biological evolution, which unfolds over millennia, cultural evolution can happen astonishingly fast. Just think about how quickly a new slang word can go from obscure to absolutely everywhere, or how a political movement can gain momentum overnight thanks to a hashtag. To put this into perspective, let's look at some numbers. According to a 2022 Pew Research Center study, nearly 70% of adults worldwide use social media, and the average user spends over 2 hours a day on these platforms. That's 2 hours every day soaking in ideas, trends, and memes, each one with the potential to change how we think, behave, and interact. It's no wonder that the spread of ideas has never been faster or more influential. But what does this actually look like in real life? Let's talk about one of the most famous memes of all time: "Keep calm and carry on." Originally created by the British government during World War II as a morale-boosting poster, it barely saw the light of day at the time. Decades later, the phrase was rediscovered and quickly became a global phenomenon, spawning endless variations. Think, "Keep calm and drink coffee," or "Keep calm and binge Netflix." This is a perfect example of how an idea can lie dormant until the right moment, then spread like wildfire across cultures and generations, evolving as it goes. Now, let's explore this from a few different perspectives. First, the psychological angle. Human brains are wired to share and mimic. When we see something that resonates with us, maybe a clever joke, a powerful image, or a moving story, we feel an almost instinctive urge to pass it along. According to research from the University of Pennsylvania, content that evokes strong emotions, like awe or amusement, is significantly more likely to be shared. This makes sense. Sharing ideas helps us connect with others, signal our identities, and even gain social status. In a way, we're all broadcasters, curating and transmitting the memes that define our tribes. Next, the scientific perspective. Cultural evolution is a bona fide field of study, with researchers using mathematical models to track how ideas spread and change over time. One fascinating study, published in Science in 2014, looked at how folk tales change as they're retold across generations and cultures. The researchers found that, much like genes, ideas tend to become more fit over time. They're streamlined, adapted, and optimized to be more memorable, more shareable, and more likely to stick. This is why certain proverbs or stories persist for centuries while others fade away. Now, let's zoom out and consider the cultural perspective. Memes and ideas don't just entertain us. They shape our values, our norms, and even our laws. Take, for example, the global spread of democratic ideals. The concept of government by the people was once a radical notion, confined to a handful of philosophers and rebels. But as the ideas spread, through pamphlets, speeches, and eventually mass media, it reshaped entire societies. Fast forward to today, and you'll find democratic principles influencing everything from social movements to brand messaging. But cultural evolution isn't always positive or neutral. Sometimes, harmful ideas can go viral too. Think about misinformation, conspiracy theories, or divisive stereotypes. These toxic memes can sow confusion, fuel conflict, and undermine trust. This is why it's so important to be mindful about the ideas we consume and share. Let me share a real-life anecdote that really brings this home. During the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, a simple meme started circulating on social media: flatten the curve. This phrase, paired with a few easy-to-understand graphs, quickly became a rallying cry. It helped millions of people grasp the importance of slowing the spread of the virus and inspired coordinated action across the globe. Here, a single meme, just a phrase and a picture, helped mobilize a collective response to a global crisis. So what does all of this mean for you and me in our daily lives? How can we be more intentional about the memes and ideas we adopt, share, and ultimately help shape our culture? Here are some actionable tips to consider. First, become a conscious curator. Before you share something, whether it's a meme, a news story, or even a joke, pause and ask yourself, what message am I sending? Is this helpful, truthful, and kind? Am I contributing to a culture I want to live in? Second, diversify your sources. It's easy to get trapped in an echo chamber, where we only encounter ideas that reinforce our existing beliefs. Make a habit of seeking out different perspectives. Follow people from different backgrounds. Read international news, and challenge yourself to engage with viewpoints that stretch your thinking. Third, practice digital hygiene. Just like we wash our hands to prevent the spread of germs, we should clean up our information diet. Fact-check before sharing, call out misinformation when you see it, and support platforms or creators that prioritize integrity over virality. Finally, remember that you have more influence than you think. Every time you share an idea, online or offline, you're contributing to the grand experiment of cultural evolution. Don't underestimate the ripple effect your words and actions can have. Let's recap what we've covered today. Cultural evolution is the dynamic process by which ideas, behaviors, and memes spread and shape societies. From keep calm and carry on to flatten the curve, we've seen how memes can influence everything from our moods to our global response to crisis. We've explored how psychological, scientific, and cultural perspectives all help to explain this phenomenon. And most importantly, we've talked about how you can play an active role in this process by being mindful, curious, and intentional about the ideas you share. As you go about your week, I invite you to pay attention to the memes and ideas that flow through your life. Which ones inspire you? Which ones make you pause or question? And which ones, big or small, do you want to help spread? Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Intelligent Pod. If you enjoyed this conversation, I'd be incredibly grateful if you could leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Every review helps new listeners discover the show. For detailed show notes and links to the studies I mentioned, visit intelligentpod.com. And if you have thoughts, feedback, or a story to share, I'd love to hear from you. Email me anytime at sophie@intelligentpod.com. Until next time, stay curious, keep sharing good ideas, and remember, you have the power to help shape the culture around you. This is Sophie Lane, signing off for an Intelligent Pod. Take care.